the fighting, the acting, the fighting. Welcome back to AsArt with Nick, John, Kyle, and Chris. Today we're going to go deep, or not so deep, into Mortal Kombat. We're going to be talking about the fighting, the acting, the fighting, and more fighting, and blood. We're going to talk about the blood and just story, maybe, and breaking rules and creating rules. It's going to be so much fun. By the way, me and John did a VFX breakdown talking about the fire effects to the ice effects to CG forearm beasts.
Awesome.
Okay, so we got some experts here. One is expert Kyle, the other one's expert Chris, and we're gonna dive deep into. Actually, John's pretty much an expert when it comes to Mortal Kombat because he's played so many games compared to me. I think I only played like the first two in the
It's a veritable
arcade.
circle of experts here, Nick. Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into it. Overall thoughts, stories. I just have to say one thing, and then I'll let you guys just go at it. John made the best point. I'm like, John, what did you think about the get over here thing? He's like, well,
Get over here!
I thought it was weird that he even spoke English in the first place because he spoke Japanese the whole movie. Yeah, he said, get over here in English. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just realized that.
I didn't even realize that. That's so interesting.
Yeah, right away I was like, wait a minute. In the other video I go, did you learn that in hell, sir? Like,
It's the only language we speak. Okay, so let's jump into it. Go ahead, Kyle. Lead us into it, expert.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was entertained. Obviously, you know, I think they had some great homages to the game and
for sure.
the previous movie that you know were absolutely cheesy, but worked. You know, because it's that kind of movie. I feel
Yeah,
right. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was great. You know.
Mm.
Chris, what games have you played? And then Kyle, what games have you played?
I've only played like the original version, and then maybe like once or twice with friends who have had it, but I was never
Okay.
like I was never like hugely into the game. I liked it, don't get me wrong, and I have favorite characters and all that, and I know the characters, but I never was like a super fan of it.
Okay. All
I
right.
did watch the movie from 1995, not recently, but I remember I remember having watched it, thought it was terrible, and then when they made another Mortal Kombat, I think a few years ago, right? With Christian
game, you mean?
Cruick. Didn't they make one with Christian Cruick? Am I wrong?
I don't
Maybe it
think
was just
they did.
that bad. It's been erased from the.
I thought that they made some sort of else one. Yeah, but yeah, no. So yeah, I'm not a hyper fan in the least bit, but I definitely enjoy the series or the game.
And the blood.
Yeah.
Chris, if we were in class and we were writing essays, the teacher probably would have given me an F for plagiarism because everything you said is exactly how it's been with me too, with the games, with the movies and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
So overall thoughts, Chris, on the film?
Overall, I thought it was definitely entertaining. It was definitely entertaining. The storyline was definitely non-existent, but I really didn't care. I didn't care that the storyline was bad. I thought it was the perfect amount of cheesy. Like you had great comic relief. Choreography was all right. I will say, to me, choreography was all right for a movie that's strictly fight-based. I do think that they could have had better choreography, because I think I've seen better choreography on Marvel series. I think I've seen better choreography in, like, for instance, if you guys know about The Last of Us, the video game, like the choreography in that was the best I've ever seen in a video game or anything in any movie. Just their fight techniques and everything, and for a series that's strictly fight based, I just felt like I expected no fight scene made me look like whoa. The best one I would say was when Kung Lao, like when he with his helmet, how he like cut her in half. Like that to me was the only one where I was like, dude, that's sick. But aside from that, none of the fight sequences like really like stood out to me for a movie that's strictly fight based.
Yeah.
The first fight scene was awesome, but not like crazy awesome. So overall the movie was, it was all right. It was all right.
And I also thought it was funny too that like no one won a battle on their own. Like everyone always had to like get another helping hand. I think there was like one or two maybe where they, but like it was always like a team up to win. Like no one could just defeat anyone on their own.
that's true.
And it was interesting that Chris, you said the same thing that Nick did. Like we kind of got off topic a little bit on our visual effects one every now and then because we just watched it. But we were saying it's like, yeah, that opening fight was one of the best fights, and everything else kind of it remained entertaining, but it kind of changed as you were going along after that. It's like,
for
okay,
sure.
man, is that a good thing or a bad thing? To start you off strong or to lose steam as you're going along? But everybody seemed to really like that first fight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I liked it, and then I loved the comic relief in it. I thought it was one of those things where it's like, you know, okay, you say it, it's like one of those things where you say it once, okay, it's funny. You say it a second time, okay, it's funny. By the third time, it's like, all right, stop it already. But then it gets really funny again because you keep doing it, and that's how I felt. I felt because so he's making these quips and these jokes, like, you know, at first it was like, all right, it's funny, and then I was like, dude, is he gonna do this for the whole film? It's terrible. And then he just continued doing it, and I loved it even more, and I was like, oh man, that was perfect for me. That was absolutely perfect. And another thing is, it was interesting, and I guess this relates back to the first film, how you select actors. I'm glad that maybe they selected actors more on, because I love the actor of Scorpio, like the actual actor, and then the actor of Sub-Zero. Do you guys watch Warrior? Or have you guys seen Warrior at all?
Oh, no.
No, but I know the actor Scorpion is from Westworld.
Westworld, yeah. So him as an actor is great. And then the Sub-Zero, he's in a show called Warrior, which is a karate-based show as well. And I love him there. So when I saw him in this one, I absolutely loved it. So I like their actor choices, but it's very interesting because all of them were like really, really undersized. Like, I can't think of anybody in that film except maybe the black guy that legitimately is probably even close to maybe 180 pounds, maybe, if that.
That's true, though. They were all very tiny dudes.
Like, they're all really, really tiny. And I was just like, man, that is very interesting. Like, yeah, they have powers, but like, I don't know, video
tiny
games,
powers.
especially I've been like watching clips of like the new video games, and you know how like in the stigma of the American video games, everybody's like hyper buff and like all this,
right.
And then here you go, all the characters are 150 pounds. Like I can blow on them and like they cease to
They
exist.
float out of his existence.
You know what, Nick? When we were having our episode, I kept saying everybody was too young. But Chris nailed it down for me. I don't think it was that they were too young that was bothering me. It's that they just
too
didn't
tiny.
look. They were too small. If
They just weren't jacked enough.
I expect you to be on the secret sauce, roided out the gills.
Exactly.
Just, I mean, about to
Exactly.
pop because you have so much sauce in your system. You know, I mean, I think that's what it was. Actually, it wasn't the age; it was the size.
So
And
you're
yeah,
saying everyone was like the guy's arms before they got the upgrade?
Yes, they were like that.
So I might have a not controversial take on this, but I think that I would have to say that it's actually very appropriate that they were small.
I would agree.
Because if you think about what martial arts is, especially Eastern martial arts, it's not so much about strength and power; it's about technique, right? And those don't require necessarily for you to be jacked out of the gills, right? And so,
Unless you're
and of
Goro.
course, we have a lot of like Eastern martial arts influence, right, in the characters. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense why they would be of a smaller stature. Right? And I think
I would agree if this was a theoretical film, like if they were actually going based off of
This is a good conversation.
real culture.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. It was real. It is real because there's two worlds and they're fighting for our safety constantly. And this is all real stuff. It's all real stuff. But you know what's so funny? Like in the 1995 movie, I really remember the rules being the rules. Like, you have to do this. And I feel like this movie just like, oh, here, your rules, take them. And they're like, just like ripped up the rules. Like, you can fight whenever. It's like, it doesn't have to even be in the tournament now. And it's just like so all over the place, the rules. But
yeah,
who cares though, right? I mean, because this isn't grounded in real world or fiction or what. This
Kyle
is just
would disagree with that.
Yeah. And also,
Eastern
Chris had a
shows
good
that.
point. Is that I feel the same way. I didn't really feel wow with the fight sequences. Things I was wow with was, as we know, that's also endemic to Mortal Kombat, is the fatalities. I thought the fatalities were pretty good. I was like, whoa, Jesus. And fatality.
Yeah.
So it was that.
Do you
That
have
was
a
the part that
favorite?
was really good. Huh?
Do you have a favorite one? Fatality.
Yes.
Was it the
one?
Captain America shield dude?
Yeah.
You
How'd you
Kung
know,
Lao?
Nick? You
Kung
know me
Lao?
too well, man.
Yeah.
It was the getting sliced in half, demon
He
girl
threw
thing.
his hat just like the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like, because the sorcerer is just like, she's like, yes, go, my beauty. And I'm like, and then she ain't beautiful anymore. Like, gets cut in half, and it was pretty good.
That was a good
fatality.
one. And it was really cool seeing an upgrade on Scorpion's like demon fire breath.
Yeah.
Because like the 1995 version, I just did a comparison to it. I'm happy with the new version.
I don't remember. I have to see your TikTok because I don't remember what it looked like at all.
It's funny because I was a huge Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 nut. Aside from maybe Virtual Fighter, they're probably my favorite arcade fighting game. And I remember just when they announced a Mortal Kombat game, I'm like, well, that's going to be bad. But I remember everybody really liking it. And then when Nick showed like the spear coming out of Scorpion's hand, I was just like, no, this is in modern day. I'm looking at that, but I was like, oh dear. Like they took a still image and just animated it on top of the still image. And it's like, wow, it was
Good stuff.
bad. But at the same time, I don't think that was a big budget movie. Video game.
I don't think
movies
this was a big budget either, too.
No, I don't think so.
I think it was pretty low on the budget. And also, speaking about Scorpion, so when he takes off his mask, it's supposed to be a skeleton, right? He's like basically
He's dead.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
He has a flaming skull head or whatever. And because China didn't want they don't allow skeletons like in their movies or whatever. So
Wait,
they had to
what?
do it where like it was a whole thing where they were originally going to do like a skeleton thing, but they changed it so the movie can air in China kind of thing, and they changed it so the bottom half was like half skull, half thing, and then he put the mask back on.
Wait, Nick, wait, whoa.
Following COVID protocols, though, as soon as he was done talking, he put the mask back on, which is good. Like, let's keep the safety going on. But
wait, Nick. That's for real? Like,
no, it's for real. I was reading
what's
up
the
on
reason
it.
behind that? What?
Well, because the market's just as large in China as it is here, so the movie wouldn't be allowed to air there unless they changed it.
Not allowed,
but I mean, why do they have such a thing against skeletons?
I don't know.
Man, I gotta look this up. It's got to be maybe a cultural thing or something.
Okay, while you look that up, I'm gonna go into I'm just kidding. I'm gonna open up a dictionary and just start reading words. No. But I just thought that was very interesting because it's like the Looper thing, where originally they were in Looper, they were supposed to go to France and he was supposed to learn French and all that, but in order for it to be aired in the Chinese markets, movie theaters, they had to change it so he went to China and the movie had to be, what I mean? So it's just like, okay, like it's like, well, anyways, that's a topic for another video completely. I wouldn't even need to go down the rabbit hole with that, but I can see Kyle just like searching. Look at his eyes going. He's like he's in a zone. Oh my gosh. Okay, can we talk about? Well, I like to talk about the effects. We could talk about the effects a little bit, but me and John really broke down. But Chris, what was your favorite effect in the movie? Was it like the blood squirts? Was it the ice palace? Was it the fire ball dragon thing?
Like I did like when Liu Kang did the fire dragon. I did like that. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I would probably say just Sub-Zero, the use of the ice weaponry, maybe. I just thought I would say, if I were to say a favorite, to be honest, none were really my favorite, but I would probably say that is I don't know. Maybe because
ice
it was
is
the
just
most
so
prevalent.
cool, right?
Yeah, ice is cool. And Sub-Zero was always my favorite. Well, it was always between Raiden and Sub-Zero. Those were like, I could never really pick one, but like they were both, my top tier.
Were you mad that they didn't give him his fatality move where he rips the skull out and the spine's still attached?
Well, I just don't, I expected him probably to do it to somebody, and maybe because he's definitely not over. I heard that they signed him to a five movie deal. So
this is just the beginning, everyone.
So this is just the beginning. So I did hear about that. But I did think it sucked that they made him like ultra villainous, like at the very beginning. I mean, not that he's not a good guy or whatever, but I just like, dude, this guy's an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just like
They made him
straight up asshole.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Mhm.
wow, like you kill mother, child, just like straight up the beginning. And I get you have to set stuff up, but like the entire thing, you just like straight up asshole. And
yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
like
almost
I don't
he's
like that.
he's as cold as ice.
I don't like yeah. Oh, well, maybe, but I don't like that for I don't like that for character development. But this movie isn't a character development. You know, it's not that type of movie anyway. So I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Kyle, let's hear it. Was I wrong?
All right, guys. So interesting thing. There were conflicting articles because some say there aren't, and then some say no. That's just a misconception because there's plenty of skeletons and skulls and stuff in Chinese games and cinema. But then it led to a list as to what is banned on the books. So gambling-related content or game features, right? Anything that violates China's constitution, anything that threatens China's national unity, sovereignty, or territorial integrity. That's a big gray area, sounds like.
Wow.
Anything that harms the nation's reputation, security, or interests. Anything that instigates racial, ethnic hatred, or harms ethnic traditions and cultures. Anything that violates China's policy on religion by promoting cults or superstitions. Dang. Anything that promotes or incites obscenity, drug use, violence, or gambling. Anything that harms public ethics or China's culture and traditions, anything that insults, slanders, or violates the rights of others, other content that violates the law. That's just a general. That's just a general, etc.
And that's the first page. He's like,
Yeah. There were 4 more pages, and I was getting bored. So, no.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle, for clearing that up. He's our resident expert. You heard it here first.
Resident Googler.
So Kyle, we're gonna bring you back in. We're gonna bring you back into the fold. Did you have a favorite effect in this movie?
I did have a favorite effect.
He's already laughing.
It was is his name Ryzen? The Thunder
Raiden.
God?
Raiden.
Raiden's eyes.
Yes. Okay, I mentioned that in the VFX review.
I liked it
What was up?
because
There were
whenever,
beams.
there were 2 instances at the beginning where he revealed his eyes. There was an upswell in the music, right? Like dun dun dun. Like I'm like, whoa, Mr. White Eyes over here. All right,
Mr. White Eyes.
Like just
Not
like that's
Mr.
a
Blue-
big
not Blue
deal
Eyes.
apparently that his eyes are glowing. Yeah, I just like that because of the emphasis drawn on it. I laughed both times.
Did you notice though, like they went really heavy sometimes with the glow coming out of the lights?
Yeah.
It was almost like they were like a lighthouse light, like just had like this beam like going out into the.
And he's
I kind of
cross-eyed,
wish
so there are different angles.
I kind of wish that they had like a J.J. Abrams like lens flare effect along with them too, like just to really sell it.
You know,
Sci-fi
maybe
rated.
that'll be a fun thing to do for TikTok. Thanks for the idea.
Yeah, sure thing, man. I charge $2.50 an hour. No.
I like that a lot. Okay, so anything that you think was like they did completely wrong, you were totally dissatisfied with in this film?
You know what? There was nothing I was completely disappointed in, but so this is geared at our age and younger, right? If you're going above this, we are definitely within the target market. Hence, we can have a conversation on this. My parents just moved from California to Colorado and were watching this with us, me and my wife. And I was just so embarrassed. I'm like, oh dear God. I told them before we even started, like, this movie is not for you. Okay. And after the first scene, my dad, former SWAT team, former, military bodyguard, all that stuff. He's like, after the first scene, at Scorpion's Village, he was like, I'm all in on this movie. We had like 15 people die in the first 15 minutes. This is great. And then, and the rest after that, I was just like, oh, it's so cheesy. So I think that kind of affected my viewership of this. But for a video game movie, this is probably one of the best examples you can think of as far as just going well, because usually video game based movies are absolutely awful. See Street Fighter 2.
That's funny. Kyle?
Yeah, so mine, like the thing we dislike most, right?
Yes.
I would say that Kano. He is he's just an asshole for no reason. Like I usually like to have a little bit of depth with my assholes, right? Like why they're such an asshole. The only thing we get is that he's like some sort of crime lord or something, right? He's the Black Dragon, whatever that means, because I didn't see any of his past life for him to garner that reputation. So I don't know. right? All we have is some guy that's asthmatic with red eyes, right? You used
Yeah,
to be
who is
badass
he?
and now you're not.
Who is that guy? Do you guys know who that guy is?
Kano?
No, but like, is he even in the games?
Yeah.
Kano?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the first one.
the guy that has the mask with the
No, is
No,
the
no,
other
no,
guy.
the red eye.
No, I'm talking about the guy that like full on like he
The
has
Darth
the
Vader Boba
Darth
Fett
Vader
looking guy.
costume on his head, and he would transport with the purple
Cabal.
smoke.
Cabal.
Yeah. Oh, Cabal. Okay.
That is his name. That's right.
Yeah,
Oh.
Cabal.
So
Yeah,
he is
yeah,
in the
yeah.
games.
Yeah, no, and I think his
Is he
costume
in the-
was badass. He had my favorite out of everybody. I think they did his costume pretty.
Is he in the
Pretty
third
cool.
one? Which one is he? I was trying to think because I only played the first and second, but I feel like I saw him in the third one, but I might be wrong. Or not sure.
So,
I
all the
don't
fighters
know.
were fighters in the game.
I think so. I mean,
Even the guy with the hammer.
The main guy with
I don't-
his batons. What game is he from? Because I have no idea who Sub-Zero or Scorpion's grandson. Whatever.
Ancestor.
yeah, I have no idea who he. I have no idea.
Great,
that
great,
guy.
great grandson, twice removed.
If I think he might just be a character who like can progress the story along. You know what I mean? They use him to like kind
Oh.
of tie. You
Okay.
know, maybe tie because I'm not. I was honestly not familiar with him. I
Also,
wasn't.
more on that guy. Did he like Black Panther his way out of a fight, like with the suit, right? Because it looks like it has the same powers as Black
To
Panther suit.
absorb, right?
Yeah, it absorbed the kinetic
Energy.
energy, then he redistributed it, right?
Yeah.
But he
Into
also
his
can have
fists.
weapons pop out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But,
quite
yeah.
some energy conversion right there.
And then he's the one that had the family. So they were trying to make the storyline around him, obviously. Like, oh no,
Mm.
his family's getting attacked by Goro. Oh no, they're in a popsicle. Oh no, it's like, he has to save the family kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Well, I
in a-
mean, so there was two things because you talked about like what kind of not upset, but on Kano for one, like to comment on Kyle's before I say like my two things. At first, I did think the same way. I was like, dude, he's another asshole just to be an asshole. But then I was like, well, at least they're consistent because at the beginning he decides to go when he thinks he's gonna get $3 million, and when Sonya Blade was like, you think I have $3 million? And like literally, it was just the money to make him be a douchebag. So I was like, oh well, okay. Well, at the end, he decides to break the portal. Not at the end, but he decides to break the barrier just off of a 5-second conversation, which I think is freaking stupid. I was like, that's it? That's all it took you? Like, hey, break it down. You know what? I think I'll do that. Like, yeah. But I was like, well, at least it's consistent. He's just an idiot douchebag. At least it's consistent.
So Sonya got his power or his
After she killed
tattoo?
him, she became a champion. Yeah.
So what I thought was
But-
funny about that too was like they all had like Mortal Kombat backgrounds, like fightings. Like they are in the bridge, they're in this thing. Then I'm like, why are they in like a mobile home fighting like Jason Bourne style? Like it just threw me off because like I thought like they were all backgrounds in the game. I'm like, I don't think this is a background in the game. Maybe it is, but I just like I didn't see that being a background in the game. Expert Kyle?
Yeah, because in the next Mortal Kombat game, they're actually going to have that as a level.
Oh,
It's gonna be a
it's
destructible level.
It's
It's
an
gonna be
Easter
pretty cool.
egg. It's
Yes.
an
It'll
Easter
be
egg.
called
Oh.
Kill Bill.
Kill Jason Bourne. It was like Kill Bill and Jason Bourne. But what else did you not like, Chris?
So the two things I didn't like, number one is I thought like the way that they got their powers was just stupid. It was like you just have to get angry a little. Like that's it. That's it. Just get a little pissed off and then you get your power.
Oh
And
my
it's
gosh, it's like
that-
waking up the Sharingan from Naruto. You have to get angry and hatred to wake up your
No.
power.
Yeah, but at least even with Naruto, I mean, it's not just anger. I mean, it takes a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
For this, it's like you get upset over dinner, and like all of a sudden you get powers. Like I was like, come on, it's just dumb. You just get a little pissed off. Like then they should have had their powers years ago. Like you're telling me you've never been pissed off in your entire life except for this moment right here. Like, come on. I don't know.
All right, Kyle, go ahead. Go ahead, Kyle.
All right,
spit it
all
out.
right, okay. Here's the thing. All right, so Chris,
Yes.
if you go back and watch the movie,
Twice?
Wait,
You watched it twice?
1995?
oh wait, you watched it
1995?
twice? This one.
Oh.
Okay.
So the thing is, okay, Kano is actually the only one that brought about his power through anger. If you actually pay attention to not that you weren't paying attention, but I'm just like with the fight with Goro, right, where we first see the main character. I've forgotten his name. The main character's powers manifest. It's actually
Black
not through
Panther.
anger.
Well,
It's
his
through
wasn't anger. It's saving his family.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's through like compassion for his family, right? So like that's the thing, and of course,
So
with
strong
Sonya,
emotions will activate it.
yes, I think so. Also, something that's endemic to the characters. Of course, with Kano, it's going to be anger.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jax is just muscle.
Jax,
had a poop.
so
He
Jax
had a
got
poop.
his by actually, wasn't it that he like saved someone? Like he actually had to lift the boulder up
Himself.
right?
He
Yeah.
saved himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
he saved himself.
No, I don't
Ah,
know. They like threw the boulder on both of them. It was like
Yeah.
Sonya and him, right?
Yeah, and like
So
that's the thing, like, he
maybe
was-
the rock gave him the powers. Maybe he's an earthbender, and like by a rock smashing him, it activated the power.
You know,
Well,
you
either
got
way,
it.
Either
You
way,
got it.
all you have to do is get a little emotional. So if I cry tonight, am I going to get some powers?
Hopefully it's not like extreme farting powers or something.
Well, I mean, do you have a magic tattoo that says you're going to get magic powers?
No, but they don't get they don't get the tattoo until after they cry. So maybe while I'm crying tonight.
wait,
Maybe
no,
I'll
they had
get it.
the tattoo before, didn't they?
Yeah, it was only Sonya that
Oh,
didn't
they
have the
did?
tattoo.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
only
Sonya was
Sonya
on-
because they were all
Okay.
chosen but
yes,
Sonya.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Right?
Yeah, I don't.
Right? Was Sonya
Why
even
don't you go
chosen?
watch the movie, Chris?
I did watch the movie. I
Okay,
forgot
Chris,
that
what's
detail.
the second thing?
The second thing I noticed was that when Sub-Zero at the beginning, when he killed Scorpion's family, like the wife and his eldest born son or whatever,
Mhm.
he like iced them. But there was no like reviving of it. But towards the end, the great grandson or whatever his name is, his family was iced, but they were revived. And I just was like, well, you did it in one context and not the other. Like I don't know. It was something
Yeah.
that intrigued me. Is all.
I
We
think that's
also
why
don't know
Scorpion's
how
in hell.
long though.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also don't know how
Well,
long the family
as
was
soon as-
iced for.
Yeah. Well, as soon as they yelled, he went running.
Oh,
And he could've-
yeah, that's right. He died.
He could have
trying
went
to
the
get to them.
wrong
That's
way.
right, never mind.
He could have forgot where he lived, and he went up to the wrong tree. I mean, we don't know. It was a cut. It was an edit.
Yeah, that's
you know what I
right.
mean? Like
'Cause-
it could have been a day.
Super hearing, so he could be a day away.
It's
and
true.
Hear his wife yell from a day
Yeah.
away because
He's like in one of those like weird echo chambers where it just like goes like one direction for thousands of miles. I don't know.
So,
I don't know, but that
he did
is
something.
very true. Maybe Scorpion was just, or no, Sub-Zero was like doing the evil villain monologue thing where he's like, I'm slowly gonna ice your family unless you beat me or something. I don't know. But no, it's for the story.
There's a story.
Right there laughing.
Wait, what?
My biggest annoyance with the movie, to be honest, has nothing to do with action or visual effects or anything. Is that when you have characters just throw out cursing just to sound cool, that bothers me. If it sounds natural to the character, but Kano throws out so many F-bombs in just rapid fire succession. You might as well have an F-bomb Gatling gun, and then other characters, they just don't sound like they're either not delivered, genuinely where they sound legit, or they're just used so much. It sounds like they're trying really hard to be gritty, but that's honestly my biggest, like, that just kept taking me out of it. I'm like, all right, I get you're upset, but okay, well, you've said that 5 times in 3 seconds. I'm like, all right, well.
Well, that's actually what I said that I kind of liked, because it did annoy me so much, just like you. But then he just kept going. And then that's when I started to laugh again, because I was like, man, this is just, you got beyond the stupid level. Now it's
Kano became a trope of himself.
yeah, you just
Ludicrous
yeah.
speed. Yeah.
He went plaid. Yeah.
Yeah, he went plaid. Okay, so you guys talked about you guys didn't like the fighting, like 100%. Well, Chris did. I don't know about Kyle. Kyle's in his own expert world why it worked, but but okay. I just had a main question. So, were you guys bummed that Raiden didn't fight?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because he
you
was my
were,
favorite
okay.
character when I played Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Yeah.
they gypped you.
Yeah, I know the secret's out now, folks. I'm a Raiden fan. Yeah, even though I didn't know his name.
If I hadn't read before we saw the film that I think Chris had saw the same article or news that Sub-Zero had been signed on for like 4 sequels or something, I would have thought that's really weird they didn't have the main baddie, I think it's Shang Tsung is his name, and then Raiden fight it all. But I'm sure they're saving a whole lot for other installments. Who knows? If any particular character becomes popular enough, they might do a whole the Sub-Zero Chronicles.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could do anything at this point.
Would you guys want to see the sequel?
I would.
I mean,
I'd watch
If
it.
you had to pay for it in a theater.
You just change the
well,
I don't like to pay for anything anymore.
I'm just curious. I'm just like, that's the way we have to view things. Because think about it, we're getting out of this, so it's going to be going back to theaters. I think Warner Brothers said this is the last time they're doing like straight to streaming and all that. So we're not going to be getting straight to streaming and stuff. So is this something you'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait? Chris is gonna be like, I'm gonna take my date to go see this movie. It's gonna be awesome. There's gonna be so much blood and head slicing.
No, I think it's gonna be more like I'm gonna get with the boys. I'm gonna get an edible, and I'm just gonna have a good time at the movie theater.
Yeah, you know what? I was a huge Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 fan. I don't think I've ever seen the original all the way through. My one video game movie, I went straight there as I saw the Street Fighter movie, and after that, I'm like, never again. Fool me once, Okay. So this is not something I would pay for to see in theaters. I don't think.
If my memory serves me correctly, I thought people liked the 1995 Mortal Kombat.
Oh, they loved
movie.
it. Yeah, it's considered
like it's like considered the best video game movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
That's what they were saying in the comments on the TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's considered. Being faithful to it and then also performing well for the budget, I think it did very well.
Okay.
I mean, you've had other movies that are based off games that I think have been entertaining. Like I think they had how many Resident Evil movies, and I think they progressively got worse, but those did well. I think the majority of them, and so it might be based off of budget and timing as well. And that was an early example, the Mortal Kombat one.
Were you mad that they showed Sub-Zero's face and Scorpion's face, or do you guys kind of like them going that route where you kind of try to add more story to them, or was it better as a mystery like Darth Vader kind of thing?
No, I liked that they kind of showed because like almost it sort of creates an end point for the history of Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess on the lines of, I also know that they signed certain people to like multiple films. At least for Sub-Zero, I mean, they might do, if they don't do a spin-off, they might do something where they show his transition from like back in, I don't know what age, maybe the 1600 or whenever.
It was like the feudal era or something.
Yeah,
like that,
whenever.
Right?
So obviously they might, in future films, they might use that to have more movies about Sub-Zero. You know what I mean? He's a massive character. So I think they showed his face, and they're gonna have to show his face if they're gonna continue. If they decide that they're gonna fill in that gap from then to now, so I don't really mind that.
I remember the guy that played plays Butcher in The Boys. He played Dredd in the other Judge Dredd movie. Yeah. And I remember a lot of interviews they were saying, so did it bother you that no one saw your face this whole time? And so definitely some actors that be in the contract, you have to see their face, or other people.
Tony Stark.
But
Robert Downey Jr. He wanted his face shown a lot.
Even Mandalorian, even that guy Pedro Pascal got mad that they didn't show his face.
Oh, he got mad about that.
Yeah.
I'll trip out. Yeah, because his face isn't even in it at all.
So that could be a factor. But I mean, if you're going to pay a huge budget and want to get an actor for a role and showcase them, you kind of have to show their face. I mean, technically, otherwise they could have just used a stunt double for the entire film, because I mean, there's not a lot of voice acting, especially for Japanese, and so maybe there is, but.
Oh, do you guys watch with subtitles or no? Kind of sometimes.
They had subtitles
they were
on.
baked in, right?
They were? Well, okay, maybe they're baked in, because sometimes the subtitles said Chinese and sometimes they said Japanese.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And so what was going on there?
So
he would speak in Chinese sometimes.
Yeah, so Sub-Zero is Chinese, I believe, right? And
so because and what I got from that was that when Sub-Zero was speaking in Chinese, he was like speaking to himself, that he didn't want
Yeah.
It's like it's just like a total evil villain thing where he's like monologuing to himself.
So wait, so you're saying if I want to be an evil villain, I need to learn another language?
Yes.
All right,
and you have to monologue.
I'm going to be the first evil villain that speaks Pig Latin.
Perfect.
But that's what's so funny, like how Scorpion knew how to say "get over here" in English. Like I just thought when John mentioned that, it was like the funniest thing to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. Because I was like, hey, were you a fan of the way he said it? And John's like, I'm surprised he even said it at all. He spoke Japanese. I'm like,
You know what? I'm actually surprised to see, like in the comments, who noticed, because out of all 4 of us, 3 of us didn't even notice it. We didn't even blink, and John was the only one. Like, because me included, I didn't. I was
Expert
like,
Kyle didn't even
all
notice.
right, whatever. It's from
He was already in. He believed everything in this world at this point. He was like,
Well,
oh,
Kyle
totally
had
in.
to come so far down from his expert pedestal to even watch this movie that he's like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it all aside.
It is pretty high up in my ivory tower. That's
Okay, so was there any characters that you were bummed that did not make the film?
No, because they're going to develop it. They're going to develop it. Like Johnny Cage is going to be in the next one.
Yeah,
Like, and they set that up. So, you know.
Were you bummed
know,
that he wasn't in this one? Because isn't he like a really big character in the games?
he's a popular character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like a green Sub-Zero character where he wears green?
Reptile. Yeah, they presented him as the lizard in this one, but that's usually
That was
Reptile.
him?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Reptile.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
that is so
Expert
interesting.
John.
Well,
at
that's
it
a
again.
fun factoid.
Wait, that was
Wow.
him?
Well, they said send out the reptile or whatever, and then it was a reptile. And
Oh,
so
lame.
in the game, he has
I hope so.
When he takes off his mask, he's a reptile underneath, like his face at certain spots. But-
Lizard people are real. I knew it. I'm just kidding.
I mean, he was more of a man lizard than a lizard man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Whatever magic they use. And then you're saying the main bad guy, is he the only one that can suck up souls?
In the games, he did that. Like he would.
Okay, so that's like his finishing him move.
I think so. Well, I don't know if he did that as a finishing move, but when you kill him at the end of the first game or beat him, you see all. It's almost like when the Terminator dies in Terminator 2, and you see all the forms that he's taken fall out. It's kind of like the same thing.
Oh, so is that character that had the magical hat that bounced off stuff? Is he coming back, or is he gone because his soul was sucked up?
I would imagine that he can't be. I imagine everybody who dies, just like Mortal Kombat, like you can be revived and just play again. But his soul, yeah, that's what I mean. His yeah,
Like
I think
Black
he might be
Widow's
different.
soul's in the stone, like she wasn't able to come
Yeah.
back, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he may be different. Maybe, I don't know.
Crossover.
I know. I was like, oh, we're just crossing over.
Maybe
all of
he's there talking to Black Widow right now. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Kyle, do you approve?
No, I think that at least portrayed in media is that souls are a form of constant energy, and thus like they maintain their form after they leave the body, and they can still be brought back or communicated with, rather than dispersed into other forms of energy, right? Which says something about the human spirit, I think, on some sort of subliminal
Actually,
level.
if you want to hear more about this, me, Kyle, and John did an awesome breakdown on angels and demons and his dark materials. We go really deep into like spirits and what happens when they die in the book and story, and it kind of relates to this, right, Kyle? It's kind of a similar idea. So if you guys want to, go check out that video. It's an awesome video. Kyle's an expert at all things his dark materials.
Yes.
We dive deep into the book. Anyways.
And by the way, when you say we really mean Nick and Kyle, because I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yes. Yeah, it's so funny. Kyle's just like, or no, not Kyle. John's just staring straight.
So did you like the part where no. Actually, I'd say probably the most interesting thing about this movie is how they're going to continue it. Like in terms of just like, with the stories that have been started, right? How they're going to continue those plot lines, right?
So it's basically a prequel.
No, not really. But I'm just like, they did so many things at the end of the film that it's like, oh, I wonder how this is going to transition into another one, right? Like especially with Sub-Zero being tight. I think he's dead, right? Is he just going to do the whole Scorpion path, right? That he's going to come.
I think the same thing. He's gonna be revived by Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung is gonna revive him.
Well,
and stuff.
Kyle, all you got to do is put in another quarter, buddy. It's not that difficult.
I was gonna say that earlier. I was thinking like, when's the last time I played that game? Probably at an old movie theater with crusty controls. I would probably say that.
I was telling John, I remember after baseball games going to have pizza in the arcade and playing like Mortal Kombat and like.
I want that so better now.
Like crazy.
Those days are over after COVID.
They said in the movie, someone asked someone about like, is someone dead or something? And then they said, well, death is just another realm. So you have the outer realm, you have the earth realm.
That's true.
And then you saw them disappear in a cloud. You didn't see them just stay there dead. So the assumption is they're going to be back in that regard.
Also, I kind of question, guys. So they said the Outer Realm is the most like dangerous or like evil one, but what about hell? Like, I mean,
that's where the good people live.
What if hell is what if it's just a different name for hell?
Because didn't they call hell the Nether Realm, which is another realm?
That is Minecraft. You're mixing up Minecraft with Mortal Kombat now.
Because one of my friends made a joke about
dragon
Minecraft
flying around there.
That's in the end, John. Come on, you have to get this right.
All right, guys, let us know what you thought about the 2021 Mortal Kombat. If you like the old one more, why? Why not? If you missed any characters, if you had favorite special effects or visual effects or things that you thought weren't there, let us know down in the comments below. Check out Kyle's Instagram. Awesome artist. Check all that stuff out. Check out Chris's show, Public Diversion. Woo woo. A lot of good. I don't know why I did the woo woo, man.
It's fine. It is a great channel. Woo woo.
Check out AsArt. Let's face for the audio video links. We'll see you on the next AsArt.